Hey everyone, welcome to Devotions with Denovia. I am Denovia, and every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be sharing with you all some unpublished devotionals that I wrote. This week's devotional is entitled, Remember Me, Lord. Before I get into the devotional, I just want to say, because I am reading it, you might see my head turn to the side. So just know that the devotional is already written and I'm just reading it so as to why my face is not straight all the time. So without saying anything else, let's get right into the devotional read. Thus far, this has been one of the hardest devotionals for me to write. It's not hard because God has not given me the words. It's hard because in this season, I too am asking God, remember me. Remember me. We know that God says in His word in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So right away we know that God has not forgotten us. In 1 Samuel 1, we encounter the story of Hannah. The word says, and her rival also provoked her severely to make her miserable because the Lord had closed her womb. Peninnah provoked Hannah because of her barrenness, and this made Hannah miserable. Has anyone ever provoked you to the point where it brought you to tears, to the point where you were miserable? This evening, I want to share with you that what Hannah prayed. She prayed, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me, and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a male child. She continues on to say, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall come upon his head. At first, when I read this passage, I saw that Hannah prayed for something she wanted. But it was not until recently I realized that Hannah not only prayed for something she wanted, but she had the right perspective. In Matthew 6 verse 33, Jesus says, but seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Hannah not only made her request be known to God, but the very thing she prayed for, she gave it back to God. Jesus reminds us again in Matthew 7 verse 7 to 8, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. So maybe the reason why we are not receiving is because we're asking, but we forget all about Matthew 6 verse 33, where it says, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to us. So in essence, we're asking, but it's to satisfy our own selfish desires. We want this thing, but it's all about us. But what I hear God saying to us tonight is that this thing that you are praying about, how can it benefit my kingdom? This thing that you want so much, are you ready to give it back to me? The house, the car, financial increase, the business, are you ready to hand it over to me so that I can perform kingdom work through it? This is the end of today's devotional. But the question that I want for us to think on throughout this week is, are you ready to hand over the desire, this thing that you're praying for? Are you ready to hand over this thing to God so that He can perform kingdom work through it? Have a blessed rest of the week, everyone, and we'll talk next week. Bye.